started using computers, long before PCs and the internet became household words. Back then, things ran on a different scale, fueled by human sweat and sheer brute force, just like when the port was founded almost 200 years ago as a British trading post.
And if the crews haven't time to go ashore to do their shopping, the shops come to the ships. And what's more, you can bargain if you wish.
The port was a place packed with sacks and wooden crates, hauled by ropes and chains, even when the first containers began to arrive. But some things never change. In a country without farms, pastures, forests, or minerals, the port is still Singapore's lifeline. With the world's busiest port at its doorstep, the island city of Singapore depends on the port for almost everything it needs. Without the port, there might be no food, no fun, no festivals. This morning, a refrigerated container of California grapes is being rushed into the city's fruit market, just in time for the Chinese Lantern Festival. These grapes are the last shipment of an incredibly busy week for fruit importers. With the Lantern Festival just days away, this bumper stock is about to be snapped up as offerings at the temple altars all over the city. The first thing they check is the container's black box, a record of its temperature throughout its journey from the United States. A 1 to 5 degree jump in temperature range, and these grapes may not be good enough for the gods.
The temperature is correct.
And now for the real test.
Good. Beautiful. These are high-quality grapes.
With the Lantern Festival just 3 days away, the rush for fruit has begun. There are no orchards in Singapore, but the people of Singapore have the world's busiest port to help them please their gods with offerings from 24 countries.
These are seasonal pears from Xinjiang province, from China. These are oranges from Africa. These are from Argentina. They arrived this morning. The ones here are from Brazil. While those are from Australia. And these are imported from the United States.
Now here's the bonus. When you've reached to the four corners of the world for offerings, that's probably the best insurance policy for any business.
I pray to the kitchen god to protect us, to make sure that the fruits we ordered arrive in good condition, and they arrived on time.
3 hours into the challenge, the Roro racers have hit a critical point. 560 cars have been driven out. Now they have to pack in 750 cars, on time, without a scratch. The nerve-wracking moment comes when the cars get parked just one handspan apart. Any wider, and some of those 750 cars may not get in. This is when the Roro racers just go with their gut.
Usually when you whistle this way, then they know something wrong, they gotta stop the car. Usually I just whistle at one time. That means either left, right, straight.
And now, it's payback time. It's the driver's turn to get chauffeured. A quick breather as the racers are ferried to their next lot of cars. This team has been working together for 10 years. They claim they've never had a single accident, and they're not planning on breaking that record today. As the racers face their most hectic moment, a small ship slips in, carrying a big story.
I opened the window and shouted, "Pirates, pirates, pirates."
When you sail
Hello.
into one of the world's busiest ports, you could become rich pickings for pirates.
One of the pirates grabbed me by the neck, and the other one holding me in my arm. And that was the time I realized that the pirates were already on board. I thought that, oh my God, I will be thrown overboard.
It's not exactly the high-tech image you'd expect from a megaport. But when you're at the heart of one of the world's busiest shipping lanes, you just have to go the whole hog and have a terminal for every possible cargo. The Port of Singapore is the world's busiest. Its docks flow with half the world's supply of oil. A quarter of all the cargo that goes around the world passes through its wharves. It moves over 20 million containers from 123 different countries. But all this makes the port a spot for rich pickings. 6 months ago, this ship was some 5 hours out of port in waters around Singapore, where more than 100 pirate attacks occur each year, over 40% of all the attacks in the world. A small vessel with a small crew, it was a classic target.
I was preparing for bed, and then suddenly I heard some banging outside. So I looked up, shouted at the top of my voice, "Pirates, pirates, pirates."
It was almost midnight. The men were creeping in with pistols and long knives. There was no doubt what they had in mind. There was one chance the ship could still be saved, but there was not a moment to lose.
Opened my door, ran up to the bridge.
Both captain and pirates were now racing to the bridge, racing to seize control of the ship. At stake were the lives of his crew.
But then before I was able to switch on the alarm, one of the pirates grabbed me by the neck, and the other one holding me in my arm. And that was the time I realized that the pirates were already on board. He asked me first, "Are you the captain?" I said, "No. You know, I've heard so much already that captains are the first to be shot." This is their entrance, coming from the side.
6 pirates had climbed on board, and more were waiting to get in.
This is the place from here. They climb up all the way up here.
Like most mariners, the crew carried no firearms. All they had were fire hoses and container locks to slow the pirates down.
And immediately all the other pirates came in here, and they subdued the duty officer and tied him up.
It was a sailor's worst nightmare. To fight back would have meant certain death. The pirates now forced the captain back into his room and made him open his safe. This afternoon, Captain Edgar leaves for Indonesia, sailing the same route he took that night when he lost $3,000, a couple of cell phones, and, very nearly, his life. With an average of 1 attack every 2 to 3 days, shipping lines are hitting back. This company invested $200,000 on global positioning devices and satellite technology to keep track of all its 70 vessels.
Basically, this is the brain of the system. It identifies the vessel. This part here, it sends signals to the satellite, where if there's any distress, they will send the signal to my handphone, to my control room, and also to the authorities in Singapore. Kilo Tango, this is Mike Bravo, over.
When a ship is attacked, the captain triggers an alarm.
Please check for me how is our tracking system